Good day, YouTubers, fellow reloaders, pew pew enthusiasts, restorers, craftspeople, hobbyists, collectors, and I probably left something off here or there. Today, as you can see, is a little bit of pew pew related, but it's not really pew pew. It's electric pew pew. This is something I picked up a number of years ago, and I think I jammed the camera on that one. This is the Pulse Plus by Taser. And I picked these up for myself and my son a few years ago for personal safety. In my state, getting a concealed carry is unobtainium. And based on Pulse's advertising, you can carry this concealed. I do not. But this is something that is an alternative means of providing safety. And for those of you familiar with, the whole Taser concept, the two prongs, this I think it shoots up to 15 feet or so. And I remember when these first came out and they looked like a flashlight. They're, they didn't have the pew pew shape. And what I liked about the little pew pew is, the form factor is very familiar and it's very easy to hold and very natural, especially if you're a pew pew fan. But I had pulled this out sometime earlier this year. In fact, June of 23. So 5 months ago. And my son and I were talking, and when I was flipping the switch, nothing was happening. I'm like, oh, well, maybe the batteries are dead. And let me kill some lights so you can see the activity. So when you turn this on, you get a flashlight, and you also get your, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, but you also get a red dot. So, when somebody is, close to you, you can use it as a deterrent, like, hey, I can see you and I can point my red dot at you. So this is where the prongs are going to go. And as you can see, this is now transitioning. And again, the camera may not pick it up. It used to be bright green. June of 23, it was bright green. And now it's more of a yellow. When my son and I were talking in June, nothing was happening. So no light, no laser, no anything. And if you pull, let's see, if you pull the actual laser, the prongs out of the housing, this then provides and obviously that's going to drain the battery. But, if you had to, you could touch somebody and shock the hibby-jibbies out of them. So, you've got multiple ways of applying a self-defense technique from a distance and then up close. But the key is that battery needs to work. So this video is about that battery process, because when this battery did go bad or was no longer powering the unit, I thought, let me just go online and buy some more batteries, just like I've purchased additional cartridges. So, and this is a very form-fitting battery. It only goes in one way. There we go. But when I pulled this out, and I want to be careful because I don't want to damage any of the harness. But what's interesting was when I pulled this out, I'm like, okay, let me go online, let me follow the code, let me go online and I'll get a new battery. No, you're not. You're not going to get a new battery, because and I'm just going to pull out one of these. These are CR123. These are Energizer lithium. again, 623, which, in my opinion, considering that the usage that I just did is more than I've done since June of 23, this puppy shouldn't be that low on juice. And I'm just gonna pop that back in. So you essentially saw what it takes to replace the batteries, and part of the and we can see it works. Part of the reason for this video is just what I did. Taser discontinued this particular model in 2022, I believe, some part of 2022, but they still sell the Pulse, but they don't sell the Pulse Plus anymore. And when I did a little more research, the Pulse battery pack, also lithium ion, if you look at it online, it's in a sealed plasticky wrapper. The form, the shape is different. Which way did this go? That way. The form and shape are different. It looks more like a tub as opposed to, you know, the figure 8 that we have here. But the point being, the batteries are not interchangeable, meaning if you have a Pulse, you cannot use that battery pack in a Pulse Plus. So this was before I knew that the battery was a 123 and it was replaceable. So then I'm thinking, wow, this was like $400 at the time, $399 plus tax. And now it's a paperweight. So then I did a little more research and then found online how to change the battery, exactly what I just showed. But what I found interesting is the Pulse Plus, which actually came after the Pulse, that's why it's the Pulse Plus, was discontinued. The Pulse Plus was the only Taser Pulse model, model from Taser, that had a replaceable battery, meaning you could take the unit, the battery pack apart and replace it with brand new CR123 batteries, which are, you know, commodity priced, very, very low cost. So you will see the Pulse Plus, the Pulse non-serviceable battery pack for anywhere from $30 to $60, depending on where you're shopping online, whether it's like an eBay Chinesium or it's actually from a reputable battery reseller that is authorized to sell for Taser. But $30 to $60 for a battery that lasts, you know, I don't remember how long it lasted before, but I will be trying once this goes. We're back to green. Oh, that's cool. We're more green than we were before. Wow. So just replacing the battery, shaking it a little, gets us to green. That's pretty interesting and encouraging. So I will be seeing and watching how long this June 23 date goes before it goes red. So I think the color sequence is green for, you know, right now. Oh, and it's going yellow again. Green, yellow, and then I don't remember if it goes red or if it just turns off, but obviously off means there's no battery. So what I found disturbingly unsurprising, if that's a good combination of words, is that this was a money play. So there's absolutely nothing wrong with this unit. It functions exactly like the Pulse, but they discontinued the better unit, the more serviceable unit, because I can go out and I can buy CR123 batteries anywhere for not a lot of money, a couple dollars a battery. Again, depending on where you're getting them, if the eBay Energizer battery is actually real versus the Duracell versus going to the Rainforest or, you know, Wally World. So very serviceable. So at any time, you know, I can be carrying around extra batteries, and as quick as I demonstrated how easy it is to open that and replace the batteries is, you know, 30 seconds if you know what you're doing, and you don't have to disconnect anything. You know, I've seen a lot of videos and instructions saying disconnect, and then when you have the battery pack in your hand, you know, squeeze, and you can do that while everything is attached and do a quick replacement. So serviceability on the Pulse Plus is excellent. Unfortunately, as I said, this was a money play, so Taser in their infinite wisdom, thought, kind of like HP, let's, they don't give the pew-pew away and then charge for the battery packs, kind of like HP does with color printers, laser printers. Let's essentially give the printer away and then charge more for, 4 different colors of ink than it would cost for a brand new printer. So Taser didn't take that approach. These are still like 300 to 400, depending on where you find it. But they took away the battery pack serviceability. So and they discontinued this model. So if you want this form factor, you're forced to buy the Pulse, and you're forced to buy replaceable batteries from whomever sells them. Point being, you're going to spend $30 to $60 plus tax, plus shipping, blah blah blah, for a battery that lasts. They say 50 uses. Who's going to use this 50 times? So it comes down to how long will the battery last. And if you keep this in a hot place, like maybe you live in Arizona and it's in your car, well, that extreme heat's probably going to do something to the battery. Just like if you live in Alaska, the extreme cold is probably going to do something to the longevity of the battery or the battery life. So how long will it really last? Check it, because there's nothing worse than needing your self-defense and finding that you don't have a light and you don't have power to propel this or to shock somebody if they're that close. So it's unfortunate that Taser did the money play and discontinued this model, because I think this is the best of the models of the Pulses, the Pulse Plus, in the fact that the form factor, the battery serviceability replacement, and the overall general use. This holster sucks. The reason I keep the holster is because it fits, and it keeps anything from messing with the trigger or any of the parts of the actual Taser. But yeah, it's a bear to get on and off. So and I think at one point there was some hardware to carry it. This isn't something I would carry. I carry in the sense that on my hip, but carry in the sense that if I'm going somewhere and I have concerns about personal protection. Every state is a little bit different, and I believe in my state this is concealed carry legal. I would double check that with both local law and I think Taser puts out a list of states and how legal it is to carry and carry concealed. So it's a great little unit, peace of mind, a better degree of comfort than carrying a knife around, where you have to be close quarters in order to use it. Even with a bigger knife, you're still close quarters. I'd much rather have something that keeps me at a distance and offers me a different level of protection. So this was a cool item, still is a cool item. I love the fact that I can service this. And if you do a search on Pulse Plus, you can't even find these hardly. And you would think they'd be all over the place. So I find that very interesting. So hard to find, which to me says they're more valuable. So if somebody were offering me a Pulse versus a Pulse Plus, I would go with the Pulse Plus because of the battery serviceability. Everything else in terms of specs, interchangeable, are all equal. These cartridges are interchangeable between the two different models. So, you've got that going. But I think the Pulse Plus was and is a winner. It's just unfortunate they decided to discontinue it for the money play and opt for that non-serviceable battery. So when you do look at the battery online, you'll even see some places will be kind enough to tell you not compatible with Pulse Plus. When you look at the form of that particular battery, the wiring, I believe the actual connectors are compatible, but the way it's wired and the shape of that battery, it will not fit in this housing. So this is a winner. Love this little thing. Unfortunately, you got to be on top of the batteries, and the good thing is very inexpensive replacement. So that's it for now. Take care.